My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, may the peace and love of Christ be with you all and your families. As you can recall, on the solemnity of Corpus Christi this year, we started our parish level Eucharistic Revival. This revival is actually intended to not only strengthen our belief in the Eucharist, but also to set us on fire for the mission as a Eucharistic community. The revival is intended to reinvigorate our worship, to create moments of personal encounter with Jesus and with one another. It is also intended to not only teach us about our faith, our belief in the Eucharist, but also to inspire us to go out and become Eucharistic missionaries. My dear friends, a couple of weeks ago, I joined a national webinar on Eucharistic Revival that was presented by Bishop Andrew Cousins of Minnesota. That very revival, among other things, emphasized the catechesis of the Eucharist. And also, it also emphasizes the area that is very important in our Catholic tradition, which has to do with personal Eucharistic encounter. Personal Eucharistic encounter. Again, that very seminar or webinar emphasized catechesis on the Eucharist and personal Eucharistic encounter. It was intended for us as Catholics to learn more about our faith, our belief in the Eucharist, and also to provide the opportunity for us to encounter Jesus in the Eucharist. First of all, let me start by saying or acknowledging that St. Margaret actually is truly a Eucharistic community. Why do I say this? We have many things happening here in the parish that are dedicated to the Eucharist. Namely, we have every week, we have the weekend masses, which I always encourage you to make every effort to attend, because these are one of the ways we can encounter Jesus, specifically in the Eucharist. We also have the opportunity for adoration every week. Two great opportunities to witness Jesus by encountering him through adoration. And many other things that we do here, especially we now have a quarterly, praise and worship service here in this parish. So all of these are all dedicated to the Eucharist. So as this very video clip actually is intended to highlight or to update you all about what we have been doing and what we are planning to do for this year of Eucharistic Revival. The parish committee for the Eucharistic Revival, we plan to do the following thing throughout this year, or this parish year of Eucharistic Revival. One, to continue to emphasize all the activities that we already are doing here in this parish that are dedicated to the Eucharist. We will continue to emphasize them. We emphasize the liturgy and do it very well. We emphasize the adoration, and specifically the adoration at this time, we're going to have an opportunity for reflection, especially on Fridays when we have our Friday adoration. We are planning to recruit more people who will be giving us testimonies about their experiences, their encounter with the Eucharist. As you have it here, I'm glad I'm doing this video before the Blessed Sacrament. So if I'm saying anything, I do believe that Jesus is inspiring me in what I'm saying, because he is inviting you and I. He wants you and I to come and experience him, encounter him. So then the next thing we're going to do is to also recruit Eucharistic missionaries, those who will be inspired to go out and teach about the Eucharist, to go out and inspire people, beginning from our parish and then to other people, other places. I'm happy that many other people are doing that in this parish right now. We want to encourage and inspire small groups. Every ministry in our parish, all small groups in our parish, to incorporate in their ministries the teaching of the Eucharist, and possibly to incorporate the possibility of having adoration in their small group. Then the next thing what the plan, this very committee is also planning to do, is to create a plan that we can have. As a matter of fact, we're planning to have this series on Jesus and the Eucharist, where we can gather together as a parish community and we'll learn more about Jesus, learn more how Jesus is the Eucharist and how we can also experience him. It's a series, and we're planning to bring our parishioners together so that we can have a moment we can learn more about this, not only to learn, but also to socialize as a parish community. So I encourage you to check our bulletin, because our parish bulletin has many more details of all I am saying. And watch out other programs in the parish that are dedicated to the Eucharist, so that at the end of this parish year of Eucharistic Revival, you will believe, or you can know, that you have really gotten something that can help you in your spiritual life. So in the summary of what I'm going to conclude with is that this year of parish Eucharistic Revival is going to be summed up or climaxed next year when we begin to celebrate our Corpus Christi celebration. So this is almost like preparing ourselves towards our parish level Corpus Christi celebration. I do believe it's going to be a wonderful celebration, but we have to start early, to plant very well, to sow the seed and to water the seed, so that in the end all of us will enjoy it. So I actually didn't want to give you a long homily or a long video, but let me stop it here. But before I end, I would say, may the peace of Christ be with you and your families. And as I invite you to take every opportunity you have this year to learn more about the Eucharist and adoration. God bless.